Joel Wilson. I'm a local artist. Been doing this my entire life. Kind of self-taught. I learned from my mom originally. She was a graphic artist, and she kind of taught me a few things and got me interested. And then since then, I've been doing my own art and just experimenting with different mediums over the years. I always start with pencil on almost everything I do, so I guess that would be my preference if I had one. Other than that, I do a lot of watercolors, a lot of alcohol inks these days, a lot with oil paintings, which I kind of more recently started to get into over the last few years. When I first started doing art, I was doing a lot of graphic art, and I was selling that, and that was a commission basis. I would be commissioned to do a piece of art, I would do it, and I'd get paid for that. And I didn't really love that. Kind of burned me out from wanting to do art. And so I stopped doing that and just did it for fun and played around with whatever I wanted to do. So a while back I started doing metal sculptures just out of mostly rebar and floral wire. And I really had a good time with that, and it was just for fun. I had tried to get into some galleries in Reno. A place called the River Gallery let me get in there with my sculptures, but they were kind of see-through because it was wire, right? And it was all put together in wire, and so when people are looking at it, it's really hard to see. I needed a dark background behind each one of the sculptures to make them stand out and make them easier to see. And so I start doing some kind of abstract paintings just to go behind them, and the paintings started to sell. Then I started to kind of incorporate the wire into the paintings and focus more in that direction. And along the way, I start getting into wine, and I wound up doing wine concept paintings that worked the wire into the art a lot. And I was selling a lot of that stuff at the wineries in Amador County. Kind of was off and on with that for quite a while. I didn't really try to sell my art for a very long time. And then one day when I had donated a piece of art at a school function for silent auction, the guy who had bid on it owned a local art gallery, and he wanted it for his gallery. And so I got into contact with him during that time, and so I've been in that place for several years now. And so I sell a lot of my art just through that gallery now. I do social media. I started an Instagram account a while back just to show my art. So about 10 years ago, I kind of got the itch to write a book, and I did a children's book. So the Repairman was all the art and all the illustrations in that were all acrylic. And then, so my next book after that was Pumpkin Face and the Crow Prince, and all the illustrations in that were pencil. My next book was Journals of the Goblin Shrub, and that also was all pencil art. I might have done a little bit of watercolor in some of those, but I did them very monotone, so it'd be easy to convert them to black and white. And then my next book was a sequel to that one, is just Goblin Shrub, Rise of the Harbinger. And that one I did all digital art, which was kind of fun. It was very new to me, and I hadn't done much with that, so I was kind of learning as I went during that process. I had a good time doing that, although looking back at it, I think that the art was kind of garbage. Since then, I've written and illustrated another children's book, but I have not published that one yet. That one is all acrylic and oil. Just waiting to see what I'm going to do with that one next.